All right, what's happening, everyone? So I'm just gonna make a quick little update video. I've had a few requests. Things have been pretty busy around here. We haven't put one out for a while. I'm not exactly sure how much or how long. So yeah, there's really not much going on. It's winter in Alaska, so we haven't really done too much outside, but I'll kind of show you around and everything. Like 2:30 Alaska time, and the sun is starting to go down. This is New Year's Eve. Looking at right now, all of this is solid ice. Come over here. It's solid ice, super slick. So there's not a whole lot that we can really be doing out here. We got our burn barrel. We've been using this pretty often here, especially the Christmas. Oh, it looks like I got to empty it. It is almost halfway full, so I'm gonna have to empty that. So let's see, we've started re-chopping wood. So as you can see, I got a couple of rows off of the pallet that was completely full. I got a couple rows off of the pallet there that I have now chopped up. As you can see, there's pieces all around here. It is super sketchy right now to chop the wood. I've got to either throw some sand or something down. I was really struggling chopping the wood today, and not slipping around. It's kind of dangerous. But anyway, so got this stuff started to get chopped up. Pretty much this was completely empty. So we went through, so far we've gone through this entire pallet, which if you guys remember, it was piled up to here, and this pallet, which I totally forgot is entirely spruce. As you can see in there, that's stuff that was dry that I just chopped up today, but that was pretty much completely empty. We had just this back row back here of spruce. Those of you that know about burning wood and everything know that spruce is soft and it burns really quick. So I thought we had 3 complete pallets. I totally forgot that this here is not a complete pallet. It's just a little pallet, and it's full of birch, but there's only like a row and a half. And so all this stuff I've got to start chopping. I'm going to be getting a little meter thing to test the percentage of moisture in it before I start burning it. The stuff I've been chopping has been dry, except for the very center. So I've got to check and make sure everything's under 22% moisture, and then I can go from there and start hopefully burning it, because I think we'll get through January and into February, and then we're probably gonna be at a position where we have wood. I just got to make sure that we've got dry wood. So that's where we're at. Really not much going on here. We're down to 2 bales of hay. We've used quite a bit more hay. We had 6 bales for summer and whatnot, and I hadn't gotten around to getting hay yet, but we're down to 2 bales of hay, and we gotta get some more chickens. They're doing pretty good. We're still fighting the freezing water thing, so we just fill up an ice cream bucket, which you can see in there. Fill up an ice cream bucket with water and bring it out every day. We did let's see, what is it called, deep bedding, but you can't really tell. But deep bedding's, it's pretty packed up in there high now and wet and everything, so it's kind of a mess. So we'll be getting a new let me check this real quick. I'll have to give them some more food, but yeah, So we'll be building a new chicken coop this summer. We'll be out with this thing, which has been great for now, temporarily. And there's the frame for the new chicken coop that we're going to build, and hoping that that's going to be a great improvement. I think we're going to try and insulate this one, but we're not going to run any heat or anything. So everything just kind of looks, yeah. But we'll bring you over here to the rabbits and the garden. Like I said, there's really not much going on. Winter's kind of hard, and I've just been working so much with the whole COVID thing and everything. The hospital's actually been super busy. Plus, this is a super busy time of the year for us. So looks like Jewel's been in here. So yeah, here's the rabbits. They're doing pretty good. We do the same thing with the water with the rabbits. We come out and get their water bottles every day. Yeah, they still got, water hasn't frozen yet. Getting a little crispy. But these are our, let's see, this is our second winter with these three. The stinking dog's been in here. I'll show you what I've ran into with the gate that I built. But anyway, we're gonna have some amazing compost in that to put down on things. Like I said, the stinking dog's got me in here. So I've got chicken manure and that spread all over. But this is completely full, just about. This one's full. And this one's pretty full. So the dog keeps digging in it. But yeah. So here's Jasper. He's gotten pretty big. And I fixed up the feeders so they're on the outside, so we don't have to open the doors. Here's our three girls. They've actually gotten pretty big as well. We've got, there's Dusty Rose right there drinking, and then the other two are the ones left over from that batch of rabbits. The rest of them we processed, but we're keeping Dusty Rose, and then we just kind of hung on to the other two females. I think we're going to try and sell them in the spring. That's a good time when people want to buy them. And then, of course, Carmel. She's doing great. This hutch has actually turned out pretty well. Being covered, same with Jasper's. Haven't had any issues that way with any of the animals. We just got having a hard time. Well, we got two things. We got mice that have dug into here that we've been trying to catch. We've caught a few of them, but we're still having problems with that. And then the stinking kids, between the kids and the dog, they have broke the gate. So I'm gonna have to address that and try and fix that this spring. Try and come up with a better way with installing and keeping the gate going. But that's pretty much where we're at on things. Just hoping for a better year this next year. See what happens. A couple takeaways with the wood here that we've learned. I need to make sure that any of the spruce, I don't have a problem burning spruce or anything, but I just got to make sure that the spruce I have at the very beginning and the very end, and then have the birch in the middle. We've actually burned through a lot of the dry birch that we had, but I mean, we did have some really cold nights. Nothing really too bad as far as the negatives go. But anyway, this middle section here, I didn't realize had so much spruce. I thought I had kind of divvied it up between the three. Anyway, hindsight's 2020. Can we even say that anymore? Maybe once 2020 is over, it'll make a little more sense. It's just kind of funny. I just thought about that. Anyway, so I think I'm going to try and get a little more wood this next year and figure out a little bit different method. I'm thinking eventually I got to take these out here, these stupid cottonwood trees, and then I want to build a covered section here that comes out. I have to be careful though, because I do have the fire pit that's right here, so I gotta be careful with how far I come out. So I'll have to figure that out, but I definitely think I'm gonna come out and then cover this all and keep the wood right here. This is a great space for the wood. I just think I need a little more coverage, and then I gotta try and, like I said, I gotta make sure that I have spruce at the very beginning, and then my spruce at the very end, and then in the middle here, you know, because it's not going to be as cold in the fall or in the spring, so that's when you would burn your spruce. And then you would kind of intermittently burn it mixed with the harder wood during the winter, you know. So if you have, you know, a stretch where you're in the upper 30s, you know, like the last couple weeks we've been in the upper 30s and 40s, and so we actually haven't used our wood burning stove as much. But that being said, this winter, you know, the wood burning stove was meant to be secondary. We have actually used it more as primary heat than we originally intended. Part of that being is like, so I want to see how much wood we'd go through. This winter's kind of been a trial. I think I should have been a little bit better prepared, but that's okay. That's, you know, it's a learning curve. So we've got plenty of wood. It's just the problem is we don't have super dry wood. A lot of these rounds and that aren't completely dry or cured, so that may be an issue that we run into. I have run into a couple logs that had you know, struggled burning because they were kind of moist. So I think once I get the little moisture gauge, that'll be a little bit easier to tell what is burnable and what's not and whatnot. So I think I'm going to work on getting some more wood and try and rotate things and keep things cured and stay on top of that. And then, like I said, having my soft wood at the beginning and at the end, and then we'll go from there. So that's kind of where we're at from the outside. And yeah, I'll go ahead and show you the wood burning stove really quick. All right, so here's the stove. As you can see, we're it's not blazing away right now. We're on the tail end of things. We'll probably stoke it up here in a minute, but we got a little fan. We got a couple different temperature gauges here, and then this area definitely gets pretty dirty pretty quick. So trying to stay on top of that has been fun. And then you know, we've got a bucket of our kindling right here, and then we try and keep this full. This will get us, would you say, babe, about a day worth of food, a day worth of wood on this rack?
Maybe a day and a half.
Yeah, so a day to day and a half, depending on what we're burning and whatnot. And then
depends on the temperature.
Yeah, and then we've got a fan here. We were using the fan, propping it up and having it push everything this way. But yeah, that's where we're at. It's actually worked really well. Like I said, we've ended up using this as more primary, and our bill went from like $211 down to, what was our last bill for? $95. So that's a pretty good drop. And granted, we spent about $200, and then I got a bunch of free wood, so yeah, that's not too bad. If we can keep that up each year, and I can keep an eye out for free wood, we should do pretty good. So we've enjoyed having this, and we've enjoyed having a fire in it almost every single night, and it definitely does keep the house nice and toasty. Before, we would have to keep the house, you know, affordably at 68 degrees, between 65 and 68 degrees. With this thing burning, even if we just burn in the first thing in the morning, and then in the evening. We can keep the house between 70 and 75 degrees. We have had the house up in the 80s. Just as, 82, 83. Just to see, I filled it up and had it running, and we had it in the 80s. And then I have had this thing right here on the edge of orange, which is your target range, and then too hot. I've had it right there. So a couple times we ran it like that just to kind of see what would happen. Plus we figured if we could get the everything heated up in that, since we've been using it for the first time, and getting it super hot, and we'll burn some of the crap on the inside of that. So I don't know, but it's been pretty good.